قطاع المرافق حقوق الانسان، لان ده موضوع مهم قوي، ودايما لما بلتقي مع يعني في مؤتمرات من مثل هذه المؤتمرات يتم طرح السؤال ده، والحقيقه المره دي انا عايز ارد عليه بشكل مختلف، واسمح لي ان انا ادعوك وادعو معك كل من يهتم بهذا الامر ويجي يزورنا في مصر، واحنا هنتيح له فرصه ان هو يلتقي بالجميع.
Chacon, and today I'm going to share my experience I had when filming my last video in Giza, Egypt. First, let me say that this incident should not discourage you from visiting Egypt or the pyramids. The Egyptian people as a whole are some of the friendliest people you will ever meet. So, this is what happened. Do you not have identification? I've done nothing wrong.
1 minute, 1 minute. Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
Did you just touch me? I had just visited the pyramids, filmed an entire video there, and then decided to do a video about Giza itself. As I was walking just outside the pyramids, a guy started following me and told me no pictures. He was in civilian clothes. I kept walking because this was strange and felt exactly like it was when I got mugged in Paris. So I told him that many people had cameras here and this was a public road, and he responded by flashing his gun at me. As I started filming him, he left. 8 minutes later, I had 2 unidentifiable men following me. No, it's public road. I have done nothing wrong. You gonna show me your gun too? To avoid any confrontation, I jumped on the horse carriage to take me back to my hostel. A police car immediately stopped the carriage and told the owner that if he took me home, he would arrest him. But until another guy in normal clothes caught up with me and we were all alone in an alley. Now I got a guy with a gun following me. Why are you following me? You have followed me for 15 minutes. You're harassing me.
General, احنا police.
No, I've done nothing wrong.
In a hotel, sleeping hotel in هنا area ولا no?
Why do you want to know where I'm sleeping?
Hotel.
No, why? You have your gun, right? Where's your identification?
General بتاعي بقى.
Do you not have identification card? Do you have ID card? I don't know if you're a police officer or not. A gun doesn't tell me that. This is a public area. Everybody has cameras. Why are you following me? Stop harassing me. Go away.
هو هنا.
Please go away. No more. Thank you. The questions were invasive, unreasonable, and frankly quite dangerous to answer. He never answered why he was chasing me or harassing me. Why do I need to identify my nationality and tell a random guy with a gun with no identification where I'm sleeping? I genuinely felt harassed and honestly that my life was now in danger. By the time I was walking to the main street, I had 1 police car and 15 different individuals after me. I wasn't filming when this happened, but to stop me from walking, the police car drove straight at me with clear intentions to hit me. But I quickly moved and he rammed me into a corner and his vehicle into a parked car. For reference, in most countries, this is assault with a deadly weapon. I was then forced to confront the mob that was after me, and I tried to reason with him, but again, it was useless. No one gave me a reason why they were after me. Random civilians got involved, and it got really messy.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
Did you just touch me? Did he just touch me? Did you touch me?
No.
This man just touched me, and I have it on video.
No touch you.
I recorded him.
No.
I recorded him touching me. Stop harassing me.
No touch.
You're lying to me. Who are you?
No touch.
Who are you? Who are you?
This policeman.
I am policeman.
Where's your badge?
اللي كان بتاع. What are you saying?
I don't need to talk to you.
Okay.
I've done nothing wrong. You touched me twice already.
1 minute.
You have touched me twice.
1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1
You
minute.
touched me.
1 minute.
What are you doing? Nothing. I'm trying to walk and film.
What's your nationality?
Doesn't matter what my nationality is. What is the problem? I'm going home. Thank you guys. You've been very kind.
Listen.
Thank you.
You can go home. You can go home.
That's the 3rd time you touched me. Are you police?
No. I'm just translate. I'm just translate.
This is an official matter now. I cannot translate.
All
this
right,
here. I was then forcibly detained. That means I was grabbed physically by 2 men, including 1 guy in a white uniform. He knew he messed up when he looked at me and saw I was filming him, so he ran off and I didn't see him again. This mob was now jeopardizing my safety, and it felt like I was about to get robbed and beaten as people were yelling and grabbing me. I continued trying to get away from this dangerous situation by calmly walking away, until finally a uniformed officer in another police car showed up. He asked me not to film. At this point, I stupidly agreed, and he said he was a captain of the area. I repeatedly asked him to show me his identification and for everyone else to show me their identification as well, which everyone refused. Again, I asked why they were harassing me. Again, I was not given any reason. 10 minutes later, he finally showed me one of his subordinates' IDs. It was frail, sun-faded paper that really didn't look official. He then escorted me to his police station and office, where he asked me the same questions. Where are you from? Where are you staying? Again, I refused to answer without being given a reason as to why I was harassed and assaulted several times by his officers who wouldn't identify themselves or even tell me why they were chasing me. He finally came up with a weak, completely untrue reason and excuse, that I wasn't allowed to film or photograph anywhere in the streets of Giza. I couldn't help but laugh and remind him that I was in the public area with lots of other people with cameras doing the same exact thing. This was the pyramids of Giza, after all, the most visited tourist site in the world. Again, I asked him why me? No answer, and wanted to see my pictures on my camera. I refused again. After 10 more minutes of interrogation, I decided to tell him where I was from because I knew this could change everything. I said I was American, and within 5 minutes, I was given food, water, freshly brewed tea, and the red carpet was rolled out for me. He became the friendliest, nicest man in the world and started apologizing for the misunderstanding, saying his officers were just trying to protect me and make sure I was safe. All this after I told him my nationality for the first time, of course. He asked to see my pictures on my camera again, and I obliged. He knew I filmed something, but wasn't quite sure what, and so I told him I'll show him everything if he lets me go home. He agreed that if I didn't have anything of his officers, I was free to go. Obviously, I did. He was trying to erase the evidence, but I knew I had to keep the footage to tell this story. So I played the game. I went as slow as humanly possible, showing him every single second of every single clip I had. Cows, the streets, the horses. Finally, the last clips of the ordeal were up. By some act of luck, he said, okay, that's enough, don't need to see any more. Just barely missing and seeing these clips. It was apparent he was tired and I wasted enough of his time. He realized that he and his people made a big mistake, tried to make it up by being nice, and finally letting me go. I said thank you and have a nice day. Okay, so let me explain exactly what I found out later on after I brought this to the attention of my Egyptian friends and officials. First, it is not illegal to film on the streets of Giza. I didn't fly a drone or film government buildings, which is illegal. I did absolutely nothing wrong in this entire situation. I later learned that the government tries to keep such issues like sanitation, living conditions in Giza a secret to the public. I mean, just look at my last video on Giza itself. Doesn't exactly make the place look great. Second, I was stopped, harassed, and cited as a threat, perhaps even a terrorist, because I was a single male with a beard that looks Middle Eastern.
When we got here, we were greeted with a surprise COVID test that cost $265 for the team, and it took an hour and a half. That's fine. We landed at 1 a.m. By 2:30 a.m., we got to the baggage claim. One of our bags was missing because Ethiopian Airlines is a pile of garbage. They're still working on delivering it days later. After that, we went through customs. Customs here is intense. Literally, everyone gets x-rayed and they poke through your stuff. They don't care. They asked us if we had a drone. I did not want to F around, so I said yes, and I handed it over voluntarily. That itself took probably an hour and a half because there is no system. It's so disorganized. I got passed from guy to guy, at least 10 different people involved somehow. They had to take the drone, they had to wrap it up somehow, they had to get multiple forms of documentation. Even as they said I was done, I was like, I need like a receipt or a number or something. But you just hear people yelling at each other in Arabic because no one knows what's going on. So finally, our items have made it through customs. It's 4 a.m. We get to a hotel around 4:30, something like that. Hotels here are very different from other countries. The hotel is like an airport. The security is super intense, and not like you go through a metal detector. That's the least of it. They had to x-ray all of our bags again to get into a hotel. Customer service, zero. They don't treat you nicely. They're just like, put your crap in the x-ray. So we put our bags in there. One of them sees wires, and they're alarmed by this. We have wires because we have battery chargers. As far as I know, there's nothing legal about this. We have consumer gear that anybody traveling as a tourist might have. We just have a little bit more of it. So they demand we open the bag. Mind you, we're at a hotel. I open the bag, and then what's revealed is a bunch of chargers, and sitting on top of them, 5 walkie-talkies. We travel with walkie-talkies because it helps us as a production team. Oftentimes there's bad Wi-Fi or people can't hear their phone ringing, but if they have a walkie-talkie here when we're shooting on a busy street, we can quickly communicate about what shots are needed or where we need people to be. So the person who saw the walkie-talkies was just a hotel manager. And I don't know what it is with gear or certain technology here, but when some people see it, their brain goes back to the Stone Age. They're like, what is this? Why could you possibly want to have a walkie-talkie unless you're planning to overthrow our government? Literally, it felt like that. I'm told there have been 2 revolutions in this country in the last 10 years. To say there's a bit of paranoia in this country would be an understatement. There is an intense sense of paranoia and control that is wanting to be kept by certain people. I want to make a quick aside here to say, we've just been here a few days. The people largely have been great, the food's been great, and I love the vibe of the city. I just want to shoot it. The thing is, they're worried about me talking crap about the country. We came here to make food videos. They've given me a reason to want to talk crap about the country. From there, a hotel cop came out. The hotel has a cop too, and they start one by one going through our stuff. What is this? I go, that holds lights. Okay, so this holds lights. It's like, yeah, is that profound or shocking? Yes, it's a light stand. So they went through all of our stuff and they started picking out certain pieces of gear that they deemed suspicious based on their complete lack of knowledge of anything. Everyone's taking pictures of it. It's very dehumanizing at this point because they're going through my personal items, picking stuff up or telling me to pick stuff up and then saying, what is that? And I was like, this. What is this? It's a back roller. Why do you need this? Why do I need this? How about go I go, because I exercise and I like to roll out my back. And the whole time I had to pretend to be nice because I don't know the consequences if I'm not. So from around 4:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. we were outside the lobby in the cold. It gets very cold in Cairo, by the way, with the police and more police coming, asking us all types of questions, treating us like criminals and suspecting us of something, but I don't know what. It's like, I can show you. Here's a YouTube channel, 7.5 million subscribers. I can't make those numbers up. This is a well-founded channel. I'm clearly on camera. The end. They were asking for us to show proof that we'd been to different countries together. So on this trip is my channel manager and 2 camera guys from Vietnam, and they're asking, show us in your passports times that you've been in other countries together at the same time, and the dates should match up. They better match up. And in my head, it's like, why does this matter? Even if we're meeting today for the first time, I'm not bringing anything illegal. Apparently, the walkie-talkies are illegal or banned. That I did not know. And immediately I said, take them, throw them away. I don't care. But no, that would not suffice. So they took our gear and they said that they're going to hold on to it until we can find a permit. I know there's people watching this who think we just came to Egypt randomly and we're like, oh, this will be a fun romp. We've been preparing for this trip for 10 weeks. Well before we got here, we applied for our permits. We weren't supposed to be shooting for 2 more days. The shooting is supposed to start today. Guess what? We finally got our permit yesterday, but now we can't get the police to give us our stuff back. They gave us a receipt for the gear that says that we have a weapon. What's the weapon? A walkie-talkie? That's a weapon? This is what I mean by Stone Age thinking. It's not everybody, but it's certain people in authority when they see that you have a piece of equipment. So evidently, that's a weapon. So today, right now, I'm about to head to the airport where they've taken my gear, and we need to try to negotiate. Show them our permit. We have from the press office permission to shoot in this country, and we have to hope that they will actually give us my stuff back. And if not, I'm not sure what the solution is. We have to try to rent gear, shoot it on a phone. I mean, that's the last thing I want to do. We're spending over $100,000 on this Africa trip. It's the most I've ever invested into any series. I knew it was going to be challenging, but I didn't expect to spend this much money and be posed with the option of potentially having to shoot it on a freaking iPhone. So that's still the quick version of the story. That's not all the little details in between, but that's where we're at. So far, I've stated what is objectively true, what's objectively happened. I don't want this to get anyone in trouble, and I hope it doesn't. From this point, the story continues. I want to document this because I know this is not the end. Even if we get our equipment, this is not the end. This is going to be one of the most challenging countries we've ever been to. And I've been to places like Iran, Nigeria. Iran was a cakewalk compared to this because they had clear instructions for if you want to shoot, these are the hoops you have to jump through. You have to pay these permits, and we did it all, and we got there, and no problem. But here, it's unclear if they have systems. It's unclear if they have regulations. It seems to go up the flagpole, a broad hierarchy of individuals, and somebody declares an order from somewhere. Based on what? I don't know. Gut feeling, assumptions, paranoia. So I'm headed to the airport right now. I'm gonna bring the phone. I cannot bring this mic because we don't have our other mics, and I don't want them to take this mic. There's some gear they didn't see or didn't see fit to take. They already know we can't shoot because we don't have cameras, so I don't think they cared about the rest. Hopefully we can get our gear and our shoot isn't ruined too much. For sure, this is already costing us more money. What I was told late last night is that the police want more money. They want money for a import tax or import fee. I'm gonna have to show them how much the gear is worth, and they'll charge a percentage of that, 10 to 30%. It's gonna be a few $1,000s. It sucks, but we have to do what we have to do. The last thing I'm gonna do is leave this country with my tail between my legs. I came here to shoot. We have a right to shoot, and not like a right like I'm an American. Like, no, we have a right from this government, from the press office, to shoot videos. So God damn it, that's what we're gonna do. Let's go to the airport.
Gone wild. Military police mercilessly beating and stomping on a woman protester, half naked and helpless as the blows rained down. Since Friday,
I need to be a little bit quiet. I'm not supposed to be recording. I'm in the airport, in customs. We've been here already 2.5 hours just going back and forth with paperwork. I needed a permit just to re-enter customs. Tons of stupid stuff. Finally, I'm here. I've handed over my receipt for the gear, my passport. I had to fancy badge made that says that I can enter customs. Look, that seems like a worthwhile thing to have to do. And so now I wait, and we have no idea what's going to happen. First, they have to locate the gear, and then will they give it to us or not? No idea. Are they going to ask for money? No idea. We'll see. Outside the airport now, trying to be a little secretive again. After 4 hours, I'm told they cannot give me my equipment because it's been given to a different department, and we need to hire some intermediary business to work with customs to get our shit back. This place is what I'm talking about. For people who said, oh, you have to do your due diligence, there is no system here. There is no plan. There is no step-by-step. It's pure chaos, hierarchy, layers and layers of people like you have never seen. Nobody knows what's going on. Nothing gets done. It's a fucking nightmare.
After this moment, it was clear we were not going to get our gear back until we left the country. So I went to a store, I bought an iPhone, and I bought some lights. The next day, production began.